Hi, I'm Adria. We're gonna do a stretch routine today, full body stretch flow. All right, so grab a mat or a soft floor and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, we're gonna start with a big inhale and exhale, forward fold. Big inhale, exhale, forward fold. Again, big inhale, exhale, forward fold, hold at the bottom. You might not be able to touch the floor, that's all right. Come as far down as you can, feel that stretch in the back of your leg. Inhale, come up halfway, so we're flat back here from the side, flat back. Kind of bring that chin underneath like you're trying to give yourself a double chin. Straighten it out, your cervical spine. Exhale, forward fold to the floor. All right, go ahead and walk those hands out into plank. We're in that plank position, shoulders right above the wrists. All the fingertips are down and pushing into the floor. We're gonna pike up into down dog. Those heels drive towards the floor, ears are between your elbows, butt is going towards the ceiling. Good. Back into plank. And down dog. Plank, down dog. Good, let's do two more. Plank. When we go into these down dogs, pretend someone's pushing between your shoulder blades to deepen that stretch. And this time we're gonna hold down dog, holding this position. Right leg bends, left hip pops out, and switch. Switch back and forth, holding about 2 counts on each bent leg. Don't forget to breathe. Both legs are straight. We're gonna crouch the dog, so both knees bend and straighten. Good, bend those knees. Try to keep a neutral spine here and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend. Straighten one more time. Bend and straighten. Good, come back into plank. That right leg is going to lift into a single leg down dog. Lift into that single leg. We're gonna keep the hips square for now. We're gonna come back forward, bring that knee to your nose as close as you can. Back to that single leg down dog. And bring that knee in. Single leg. Knee in. And again. Hold that single leg down dog. Now open up those hips towards the back wall, but keep equal amount of weight in both your hands. So my belly button is now facing that back wall. Bend that top leg. Look for your heel underneath your arm. Getting a nice stretch there in the front of that thigh. Straighten that leg. Square off the hips. And bring that leg forward all the way into runner's lunge. So that foot lands right by my hands. My weight's in my heel, all right? We're gonna hold this runner's lunge for just a second. Rock side to side, loosen up those hips. That right hand is going to raise towards the ceiling. Look up at that hand, drop your hips, straighten the back leg. Good, that hand comes down. Let's raise the other hand up. Raise that hand up, working the balance a little bit. Back leg stays straight. Good, and lower that hand. You can either hold this runner's lunge here. If you want a little extra, come on down to those elbows. Really loosening up that hip. I like to rock through the movement to loosen up the joint, unlock those tight muscles. Slow and controlled movements. Nothing spastic, quick, or jerky when we're stretching. Good, push back up onto those hands. We're gonna step that back leg in, so we're in pyramid. So that back leg comes in. If you're not quite as flexible yet, maybe you want your hands on your thigh or your shin. You want that back nice and tall, no rounded backs. So back is nice and tall, pushing down through your front heel and your back heel. We're in that pyramid position. I try to sit my hips back a little bit to lengthen the back of the front leg, those hamstrings. Hold it just a little bit longer. Good, step both of those feet together, come into a little ball. Stretching out that lower back. And we're gonna drive those heels down and stand all the way up. Big inhale. And exhale, forward fold all the way to the floor. Step back into plank. We're gonna go through that again. With the other side, we'll go down dog to plank. So we're gonna start the whole sequence over again. I have to remind myself to keep a neutral spine as I'm going in and out of this down dog, because I typically want to drop my head into that anterior head carriage like this, tuck my chin in. We don't want to do that here. We want to keep a neutral spine. Driving those heels toward the floor, stretching out the entire posterior chain. All right, back into that down dog. We're gonna crouch the dog this time. So keep a neutral spine in your lumbar, which is where I like to dip my pelvis during this move. So I have to really think about keeping that spine tall. Breathing through this movement. We're getting a good stretch in, but we're also strengthening those shoulders and upper body a little bit, core, holding yourself in this position. One more. Good, we're gonna go back into plank. Shoulders should track right over those wrists. And left leg is gonna raise single leg. And bring that knee to your nose. Good, back to single leg. And knee in. A few more. You should feel a stretch in the back of your right leg here. One more. Good, this time we're gonna raise that up. Open those hips up to the front of your room. Equal weight in both your hands. And bend that top leg. Look back at your heel under your arm. And straighten that leg. Square off those hips. Bring that leg all the way forward into runner's lunge. Rocking through that movement, straighten that back leg. Don't forget to breathe. Your hand closest to me is going to raise up towards the ceiling. Look up at that hand. Make sure that back leg is straight. Your knees tracking over your ankle. Stacking the shoulders one on top of the other, opening up that chest. The hand is going to come down right by your foot. Other hand raises up. A little bit of balance work here, getting a stretch in there also. really good to do a good stretch flow after a hard workout, maybe on your rest day. Keep those muscles nice and long. You don't want to get any tight adhesions in those muscles. That arm goes down. You can either hold this runner's lunge here if you want a little extra, drop down onto those elbows. Keep that back leg straight as you can. Rock through that movement. Loosening up those hips. We hold a lot of tension in our hips. Most Americans, most people in general do a lot of sitting throughout the day. At work, in the car, at your sporting events for your kids, those hips get really tight. We need to loosen them up. All right, go ahead and push back up. Good, step that back leg up in to pyramid. So again, depending on your flexibility, you might be up tall. We just want a tall back here. Weight is shifted into those heels. Heels are pushing down. Feeling a stretch in the back of that leg. Those hamstring muscles, the back of the leg, they get tight in a lot of people, which pulls your pelvis down and creates a lot of tension in your low back, creating low back pain. And then it's a cyclic effect. Once you start to feel that pain, your body movement patterns change to compensate for the pain, which is this evil cycle of more pain and more pain. All right, step those feet together. Bend those legs, little ball. Loosen up that lower back. And we're gonna roll it all the way up. Roll those shoulders. Good. Roll those shoulders. I'm gonna walk down into plank position. And I'm going to chaturanga into up dog. So shoulders are away from the ears, squeeze your butt, push those hips down. I'm gonna come down and push back up a few times. Down, push up. Don't let those shoulders sink into your ears or your ears sink into your shoulders. Push up. We're gonna go ahead and do 10 of these extensions. If they hurt at the beginning, go ahead, give yourself 10 of them. Get that back into extension. And see if they still hurt by the time you get through all 10. I lost count. Let's do 2 more. Good, hold this last one. And come down onto those forearms. We're in Sphinx now. Sphinx. We're gonna kick that right heel to your butt for a quad stretch. Push that hip into the floor. That stretch. If you're not feeling a stretch here, really push that hip down, pull that heel away. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to push your foot into your hand, like you're trying to pull away. We're gonna hold that for a few seconds and then we'll relax. So hold for 3, 2, 1, relax, pull that heel to butt. Good, push that foot away. 3, 2, 1, relax. Pull that heel to your butt. One more time, push away. 3, 2, 1, relax. Pull that heel to your butt. Good, and we're gonna switch sides. Heel to butt. We're gonna start off just with the stretch. Try not to let your ears sink into your shoulders while we're in this Sphinx position. If you need to deepen that stretch, you push that hip down. All right, and push that foot into your hand as hard as you can. 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. Pull that heel to butt. Good. Push your heel into your foot into your hand. 3, 2, 1. Good. Pull heel to butt. You really feel that muscle unlock when we do that resistance and stretch. One more time. Push foot into hand. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Pull heel to butt. We're gonna hold it here just a second. A few seconds. Keep catching myself dropping into my shoulders. I gotta push those elbows down. All right. If you want an added challenge, just a bonus little bit, let's kick both feet up. Grab both of those feet. Rocking horse. So we pull those knees up. We try to get our chest away from the floor. Push those hips down. Three, 2, 1. Good. Release. All right, we're gonna push into child's pose. Knees are wide, toes are together. Bring that butt into your heels. Push your butt down into your heels as best you can and walk those hands out. Both hands are going to walk over to the right side, pull back to the left. Good. Now both hands are going to walk to that left side. Lace your fingers, pull back to the right. Good. Release, both hands center. Now bring those palms together like you're praying. Keep your hands pressed tightly together. Bring those hands behind your head. Thumbs come to your spine. Keeping your hands tight together. Push the elbows down into the floor as hard as you can. Thumbs are touching the spine. Deep breath. In this position, I always like to think of something I'm thankful for. All right, release those hands. Push up onto all fours. We're gonna do a quick cat-cow, and we'll be out of here. So we're gonna round the spine, contract those abs, and arch, release. So good for your back to get some movement between each of those vertebrae. And arch. Round and arch. Round and arch. Let's do one more. Round and arch. Good. All right. Let's just one more time for fun. Kick into down dog. And walk those hands to your feet. A lot easier in this position than it was when we started. My hamstrings have loosened up. Feels a lot better here. I kind of want to just hang out. Let's bend those legs. Roll it all the way up. Roll your shoulders. Give yourself a big hug. And release. Great job, friends. Thanks for joining me for this stretch flow. We'll see you back here later this week. Bye.